Summer. I am on my way to the Jersey Shore. That's literally where I'm driving to right now, is to the shore, to hang out with my fam, to celebrate a birthday. And on the drive, I decided to just pop in because this video was so overdue. But it's kind of like, what's the status of things right now? So, without further ado, I'm not going to drag the video on. I am no longer in the Air Force enlistment process. I am not attempting to become an officer in the Air Force. The reason is quite simple. My recruiter gave me a call and he was like, Summer, your debt to income ratio is too high. And I was like, okay, fuck it. I had no more fight with the Air Force in my being. I'm too fucking talented. I have too much to give to continue to fight with them on why I'm qualified to be a badass airman. Do you hear me? And I'm cocky about that because I can be, because I worked my ass off to be where I am today, and I'm just not going to do it. So their thing was, I have okay, so debt to income ratio is exactly what it sounds like. You have too much debt to the amount of income that you bring in. Here's the deal. I have quite a bit of debt. I have student loan. And there are differences in debt. I don't have negative debt, meaning I don't have things that are in collections. None of that shit. All of that has been paid off. I don't carry or have negative debt. What I do have is a shit ton of student loans, which I'm 33 and I have 2 degrees. So yeah, I got student loans. I also have vehicles. So I live in New Jersey. I'm in a state that requires you to fucking drive. It's not as interconnected as New York. You can't get to places fast. If you wait for a bus, you could be waiting 1.5 hours to 2 hours to go one way. So you could easily spend 5 to 6 hours traveling on a bus to get to where you're trying to go, depending on how far you need to travel. You know what I'm saying? It's not as interconnected. And so yeah, I have a family and we drive because we need vehicles to drive. So I have several car loans. My thing is, with my student loans, my cars, like, what the fuck does that have to do with me being a bomb-ass airman? Like, nothing. Does it, like, somehow discredit my integrity that I went to school to better myself and my family was poor, so I had to take out loans? Does it discredit me that I have a family and we drive and we have multiple vehicles? Does it discredit me that I was, a young person making stupid fucking decisions and had like Macy's charge cards and like real dumb shit, but I paid all of it off? It's like it's there, but it's not, I don't owe anybody. So I just like hit myself. I know I'm trying to adjust my bathing suit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't owe anybody. So I owe the federal government for blessing me with student loans, I guess. And I owe my banks, for the cars that we drive. But that's it, guys. Like, so the Air Force made the decision to cut my application because they perceive that my debt to income ratio is too high. If they would have asked me, I would have said, this is what I pay per month on my student loans. Yes, they are significant. But because I'm not working, well, I have a part-time job. Because I'm not in full-fledged career mode and making $80,000 a year, yeah, I don't pay as much on my student loans right now. So I could have articulated that. The other thing is with the vehicles, I can let y'all in. It's not that deep. I have a family, so people pay for the shit that they drive. we support each other because we're family, and like that's what you do. You support one another. You help each other. So, oh, I should stop at McDonald's. I want some ice cream. So yeah, so that's what they said. Friend of mine who I love and respect very much was like, Summer, you need to fight this. You need to give them proof that you pay for everything. And I could, but I'm tired of fighting with the Air Force. Like, the fuck? Why do I have to keep fighting these people to serve? Riddle me that. Huh? Why? I'm not trying to take your stuff, Sarge. I just find riddle me this and riddle me that funny as hell. I'ma link his videos. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is Yeshua Thomas? He's funny as shit, yo. If you don't watch his videos, I don't care what branch in the military you're trying to go into, you're like missing out because he's funny. But they do this thing, him and a drill sergeant that he films with, they be like, riddle me this. Like, that's what I feel right now. But yeah, so that's the status of things, guys. Hey guys, so I don't know, well, my phone overheated or something, but just wanted to let you guys know I'm no longer in the Air Force enlistment process. I'm no longer pursuing becoming an officer in the Air Force either. I began to explain the debt to income ratio and kind of go into a rant around why that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, in my particular case, I'm single. I have a partner, but I'm single, meaning I'm not married. And, you know, what's on my credit is life shit. And we are handling our lives and we pay our bills and we do our absolute best. But I don't know what any of that shit has to do with me being a phenomenal ass airman. So that was the Air Force's call. I considered presenting my information to my recruiter, but after some thought, I just decided not to. I feel like I'm forcing my way into this door. Either the opposition is present because that is what's for me, or the opposition is present because it's absolutely not what's for me. I don't know, one way or the other. But I decided to no longer pursue the process. I'm really tired of fighting with the Air Force. I'm tired of just saying the words Air Force. I am over it completely. Let me take my glasses off so that I can look at you guys. So yeah, I'm just kind of over it. What many of you, well, none of you know, is simultaneously, so a brief story, when I made the decision to join the Air Force, there is an armed forces recruiting center not far from my home. So of course I go, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna talk to an Air Force recruiter. We get there, there is no Air Force recruiter there, but what was there was the Navy, the Marines, and Navy, Marines, and Army. So the Army is actually the branch that administered my ASVAB practice test. So, and shout out to Sergeant Santiago. Just a really, first of all, he's cool as shit. So if you're in the South Jersey area and you're looking for a cool recruiter and you are considering joining the Army, I will highly suggest Sergeant Santiago and working with him. I won't link, but I'll list his information below, so you can check him out. But anyway, so he administered the practice ASVAB, and that was cool. I scored a 43 on it, which wasn't good at all. Side note, I scored a 43 on the practice ASVAB. I got an 86, bro. So sometimes the practice ASVAB is predictive in that it will let you know you might score within 10 to 20 points of your score. I literally doubled my ASVAB score, so that was just a note. But anyway, so he and I have been in communication. He would check in, how's things going with the Air Force, whatever. And I was just like, you know, I'm still pursuing a process. He was like, well, if anything falls through, hit me up. So that's the first person I thought of when shit didn't fly or pop off with the Air Force. I was like, fuck it. I'm tired of fighting them. I'm literally fighting the Air Force to fight in defense of our country. Like, what type of world, alternative reality am I living in that I'm fighting to fight for you guys? Like, what the fuck is that about? Anyway, I'm tired of fighting with them. So I hit up Sergeant Santiago. We talked it out. I decided to submit an application with them. He said the whole debt to income ratio is not really the Army's thing. As long as you can show that you're paying your bills. So if they pull your credit and you can show, like, you know, I'm paying my bills, or I have some kind of payment arrangement set up, they cool. Because they know grown-ass people have life shit. So not everyone is happy with my decision, because people are like, you know, the Army is frontline, yada yada. But my thing is, whether it was the Army, the Air Force, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, or Reserve, in any of those branches, I'm signing up to be a fucking soldier. Like, that is why I'm doing this. Like, I don't know, like, what the perception to join the military for benefits is cool. So if you're young and you need school paid for, or you're trying to, like, stabilize your life, you get 3 hots in a cot, I get that. But just know that at the end of the fucking day, you were signing up to become a soldier. Like, I understand that. I'm not afraid of that. So while my family and some of my friends disagree with the decision, this is a decision that I'm making with my life. And I understand the risk that I'm taking when I decided to sign up. So I'm not missing anything. Like, I'm not skipping over the fact that I am a soldier first. Even in the Air Force, I'm an airman first. Like, I'm signing up, and now the Air Force is kind of shifting to, like, warrior airmen. Beast Week, that wasn't always a thing. Like, the Air Force, that just wasn't the mission of the Air Force. They didn't always have Beast Week. That is a new thing. That's a new institution in the Air Force. But there's this new idea because warfare has changed. The way we do war has completely changed. We went from having large standing militaries to now this sort of guerrilla style deploying teams of individuals to places of war. Does that make sense? Like, the idea of where we're marching in formation and we have our knives and our guns and we're gonna kill them and we're all marching it, you know, marching forward, that shit doesn't exist anymore. The style of war has completely changed. And so the Air Force, in order to be ready and in order to meet the needs of today's type of warfare, airmen need to be fucking prepared to fight too. So I don't get, and I get it, not every MOS, not every AFSC is going to deploy, not everybody is going to see action. But my point is, at the end and beginning of every fucking day, if you're in the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, or the Air Force, you are a soldier, you're an airman. Like, that is what you signed up for. So I went on that long ass tangent to say, I am good. I am very conscious and aware of the decision that I am making to serve and the potential cost that comes with that decision. If you are watching my videos, you have to have discerned by now that I'm pretty clear, a very clear, lucid, articulate individual, and I'm aware of, extremely aware of the decisions that I make. They're all very calculated and thought out. And even the things that seem spur of the moment, they're not. Because when, at the beginning of this entire process with the Air Force, I already thought, like, plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and fucking G. I already thought through the different options. So if something comes up and it's like, oh shit, that was sudden. Maybe it was sudden for you, but it's not sudden for me because I think the shit through. I'm very thorough. I think shit through. As it pertains to my life. I'm not thorough in all areas, so. But that's it. That's it, folks. Like, so I am officially making the switch from the Air Force to the Army. I am so fucking excited. I don't know if this is going to go through, and at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck because there is another plan. If this doesn't work out, there's always something else. Life is a continual journey. It's a journey that I'm on and I'm enjoying. I don't feel disappointed, so please don't feel disappointed for me. I'm not sad, so don't be sad for me. Like, I have already moved on and I'm transitioning to what's next. I would love for you guys to roll with me though. So I literally went from having zero interactions and experience with the recruiting process to now pretty much fully understanding the process of becoming an officer in the Air Force, or at least the application process, understanding the process of enlisting in the Air Force, and now I'm pursuing enlisting in the Army, all of which is fucking exciting to me. People are like, well, you know, it's more difficult, basic training, and whatever. It comes with the territory. I don't care. I know I'm gonna like half die. I can barely run. I hate running, but I'm gonna learn to love it. It's life, y'all. It's not that deep. I promise, it's not that deep. I'm just rolling with life. I'm flowing with it. When you put up resistance and everything is like, I gotta do it this way, this has to happen that way, life is so fucking stressful. So I'm just like, I'm flowing like water. I'm just flowing with life and trusting that the door that opens for me is for me. That's it. That's it. It's very simple. I'm not fighting against nothing. I'm just flowing. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. There's quite a few new people, which is exciting. Hey, y'all. Welcome. I'm very excited to have you. Sort of join me in this crazy ass journey to serving in our military. The whole idea, the thought of service excites me because I know what I want to do and I know where I'm trying to go. So don't mourn for me because I'm not fucking mourning. I'm keeping it moving, and I hope you will keep it moving with me. If you have any questions on the enlistment process as it relates to the Air Force, and or questions as it relates to becoming an officer in the Air Force, and or if you have questions on joining the Army. Because there are differences. There are differences in job selection. There are differences in bonuses. There are differences. So I will answer all of your questions to the best of my ability. What's next for me is, damn, this video is long. What's next for me is my recruiter had to submit my application up through the Army chain of command, his chain, and on to MEPS. He also had to submit my medical information. So here we go with that shit again. But the cool thing is that because I already have a jacket up at MEPS from the Air Force process, that should be a lot more smooth. It shouldn't be, as much of a fight or whatever because MEPS already has my information. That's our hope. There are two completely different medical officers for the Air Force and the Army. Or I should say, that's not entirely true, but I should say two separate processes. So we'll see. So that's where I am. I submitted all my information on this past Monday. What's today? Thursday. So I submitted everything on Monday, and today is Thursday. I'm expecting for my recruiter to check in maybe sometime next week, but I'm not looking for him. I'm not checking for him. Santiago is cool as shit, but I'm done checking for people. Like, they will look for me. When he's ready, when the shit comes through, he's gonna hit me up and say, you know what I mean, it came through, and we'll go from there. But I'm not waiting around. I'm jumping back into the job pool, so, and I'm gonna let all of this play out the way it's supposed to play out. So, thank you for riding. Hit me up if you have questions. Subscribe if you haven't, because this is a long-ass journey. I don't see this ending anytime soon, because whether it's the Army, the Air Force, or any other fucking force, or it's me kind of jumping back into career mode, I'm full of life experience and knowledge, and it's only going to get deeper and better. So thank you again for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll be hitting you guys up when I hear back from my recruiter on if my information was accepted, and hopefully I'll have a fucking MEPS date. How about that? How about MEPS? How about I've been trying to get the MEPS since like 2 years ago? Peace, y'all.